Marske United means to everybody in the area, not just people at the club, but the whole area. It's a focus for the village. Marske United is just one part of what we call a community hub. I can't believe the numbers of supporters that we get. Marske is really a seaside village. Amazing when you see this little ground like full, and it's all full of vocal people who are really backing Marske.
Yeah, Marske very important. You know, it's a very, very important of people's life. It's a focal point from the come to games on weekends, all get together. The community, it's grown and grown as we've gone, as we win up the leagues. It's unbelievable who you meet. You know, I mean, I was at a game yesterday at Darlow and I met a bloke from Norway. When he seen my badge, I was at Marske 4 years ago. I came to the ground. You know, there's a lot of older generation still come. They've been coming years, and it's their club. You know, it's their club. Like it's a Middlesbrough or Man United. It's their club.
The good times have been, like you say, some cup runs, going to Chester and winning 4-0, going to Gateshead and only just losing, being so close to the first round proper of the FA Cup. 2 seasons ago, we got promoted up into the Northern Premier League, which really, Marske were one of the smallest villages playing at that level of football. It was quite phenomenal, really.
I mean, I've followed Marske for probably 20 plus years, so I've seen us go from playing in the Wearside League up to where we were last season. It's good to see a small village be on a grander scale. Again, the low times, there's been a fair few low times, but it's in them moments, I think, where you watch, again, the community, the team, the club as a whole kind of come together and sort of get behind each other.
Ooh, the financial crisis. It was really brought about through our own success. Climbing the leagues as we had, only being a small village, only able to get a certain number of regular people in the ground week in, week out.
Yeah, obviously when we obviously found out we were in financial difficulty, it was an hard time for everyone. It was a little bit surreal, didn't feel like it was happening, but it was happening.
As soon as you start going into the lower levels of the National League, it is as it says, it's part of the National League system. We're travelling to Liverpool, Manchester, Cheshire, Lincolnshire, Derbyshire. Coach travel alone for the season was £20,000 plus. From here, because we're quite insular in the northeast of England, to go anywhere other than the northeast is a big trek.
It was a hard time for obviously the players, the management and all the fans, like thinking we would possibly lose the club. It was tough, very tough.
Marianne obviously runs our food kiosk on match days. She does a lot of commitment to it. Ordering, cooking, as well as just serving, cashing up afterwards, banking the money. There's a lot to it, and it becomes a big part of what they do.
Because Marske is a destination that they hadn't played at before, a lot of the teams, so would come and spend a weekend. So it's affecting holiday lets, B&Bs, the takeaways, the restaurants, the pubs. It just affected the wider community a lot more than anybody would have expected.
When the news broke, it definitely felt like, to be honest, it was a bereavement. People were literally walking around the streets, especially on the Saturday afternoon, wondering what on earth they were going to do with themselves. It has been such a focal part of the village, or it is a focal part of the village, and to lose that. Any number of businesses have also suffered. The butchers who provided the pies, the pubs always did well, visiting supporters always utilised the fish and chip shops as well. So, the impact was quite widespread and probably still is being felt at the moment.
We tried to do a lot of fundraising to try and keep the season going, but at the end of the day, we went to the Northern Premier League and made them aware of our position because we wanted to know what was the best option. Options were to go as long as possible and then go bust, but that would be the end of Marske United. It would never have come back. Or it's a question of withdrawing from the league, paying off all the players, all the football clubs we owed money to, all the creditors, and the punishment is then a 2-division relegation. We had to jump in and do something to save the club from going bust, which was the last thing we wanted to happen. The fans probably initially weren't aware of how bad it was, and they were quite a little bit confused as to what are we raising money for, but then we're not continuing. But I was always reluctant to ask fans and people of Marske to put money into something that could well not survive. And I think once people appreciated the real dilemma that we had and understood that it was either stop now and start again or go forever, then the whole situation with the fans changed, and they became a lot more supportive of what we were trying to do when they realised there was no way we could continue. When we realised that we'd raised enough money and realised that we had sufficient funds to do it, it was a big relief. I thought it stands Marske United in good stead that we have actually cleared off all debts, both current and very, very old debts. All the players got paid every single pound they were owed. All the fees that we owed to people like Middlesbrough, for players that we'd had on loan, they've all been cleared, and people have been so appreciative of how we've handled ourselves in this situation. They're all just so sorry that it had to come to that.
When it got saved, it was a funny one, because even then we exhausted every avenue to try and keep it going, because we wanted to stay in this level where we'd gone from to. It was a lot of hard work, so it felt like, was it wasted, was it not? But the most important thing was the club, so we had to make that decision. Otherwise, it wouldn't be here now. So we're delighted to still have the club and we can move forward.
For me, it was more for like the long-standing members of the committee and those behind the scenes who'd kind of worked tirelessly over the months, the years to kind of try and keep the club afloat and keep them going. We had the opportunity to reset and still have Marske United as a football club and not have to kind of lose that name and potentially lose those memories that people had of Marske United as a whole.
Oh, it's a big relief when the club got saved. A lot of work went into saving it behind the scenes. I don't think people realise just how much work went in with the committee and the chairman, all the effort and groundwork that he'd had to put in with various meetings and get-togethers and getting funding together. So yeah, it was a huge relief to everybody.
Yes, we've stopped playing, but we haven't gone bust. We've just run out of money. Lots of people wishing us luck, saying if there's anything they can do to help. It was tremendous. Today's a junior fun day, so the junior coaches of Marske United are playing the junior coaches of Stokesley. That was only going to be a match between the coaches, and then it's blown up into a full-blown fun day with all the junior kids of each club coming down. And as you can see, we've got bouncy castles, face painting, we've had a band playing, there's lots of activities going on, and the turnout's tremendous. It's like a proper match day. Yeah, it's really nice to see it full again.
Yeah.
they've probably been a better team. It's just they've had that one chance. Come on, lad. You got him, innit?
When they realise he's not got... Yeah, no wrong with that. Not wrong with that.
Committed.
Yeah. Feet weren't up, got the ball.
The message to the fans for next season would be come back, see the club, see what we've done, see the change in attitudes.
Yeah, come back. Like I say, we'll be trying to put as good a footballing team out there as we can for them to enjoy that. But like you say, it's just getting back all together.
The club's ambition now, we want to go back to be very much a community club again. We still want to be competitive and do the best we can, but we're always now going to keep the club on a sound financial footing. We're going to do it step by step. We would like to get back to where we were, but it will only be when funds are allowed. Hopefully, we'll keep the same sort of crowds we used to get, and if that's the case, then we can really move back on and hopefully make an effort to move back up the leagues again. Now most people just can't wait. Have we got season tickets? When the season tickets coming out? And I keep saying we don't even know what league we're in. I don't care what league we're in. We want to be back watching Marske United.
Brilliant. That's great.